Right, so you guys voted on what information you wanted to know more about, and I had six people who voted for the formation and fate of stars, and six of you who voted for our place in the universe. So I would like to do a little mini lesson on both of those topics, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you that these videos are not going to be anything super fancy. There's not going to be a bunch of bells and whistles and all of that kind of stuff, but I hope they're filled with good and interesting information to keep you engaged in the video without having to have a bunch of that fancy stuff. I have zero aspirations to be any kind of YouTube sensation or anything like that. So I'm not going to spend a bunch of time editing my videos. I just want to fill them with really good, useful information. So we're going to start with our place in the universe, and I'm going to start with a little bit of history. So for many, many years, up until about 500 years ago, most people were under the misconception that the Earth was the center of everything. And that kind of made sense for their time, right? Because it seems like everything is kind of circling around us. The sun rises and sets, even the stars move across the sky. But we now know that that is not true because thanks to scientists like Nicholas Copernicus and Galileo Galilei, they proved about 500 years ago that it's actually the sun that's the center of our solar system, and the Earth and all the other planets revolve around it. So let's talk about the Earth's place within our own solar system. Now, there is no picture that I could show you that would accurately represent the size and the spacing of all of the planets because our solar system is really just too massive to accurately represent on any kind of picture like this. Now, of course, the sun is the most massive thing in our solar system. It takes up about 99% of the mass of the entire solar system. And so our Earth, comparatively to our sun, is just a blip in our solar system. Okay, it is one of the smaller planets. It is the biggest of the inner planets of Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars. But compared to other planets like Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, our Earth is relatively small. So it is a relatively small part of our solar system. So is our solar system the edge of space? Of course it isn't. So beyond our own solar system, we have our Milky Way galaxy. Now, we're not even in the center of our own galaxy. Our sun, which is a relatively average star by all accounts, is just kind of in a random arm of our spiral galaxy. So in the center of our galaxy, we actually have a black hole called Sagittarius A. So it's a good thing we're not in the center of our galaxy anyway. So our solar system, it takes up a little bitty spot right there on a random arm of our spiral galaxy. And most of the things that we see in our night sky come from our own galaxy. So of course, all the planets within our solar system, we can see those. All of the beautiful twinkling stars that we see, we can see those within our own galaxy. So all of these beautiful things that you see on a clear night in the night sky, for example, if you are in the northern hemisphere in the summer, you can actually see the core of the Milky Way with just your eyes. It doesn't look this bright and magnificent. It kind of just looks like a faint cloudy band across the sky, but that actually is the center of our Milky Way galaxy. You can see beautiful bright stars. So all of this is pretty much what you can see within our own galaxy. But is that where space stops? Of course it isn't. So let's talk about the things that we really can't see with our eyes. Now, if you have excellent eyesight and you are in a really low light pollution area, you might be able to make out the faint smudge that is the Andromeda Galaxy. So if you know exactly where to look with your naked eye, you might can see a little smudge in the sky, and that would be the Andromeda Galaxy. Okay, so the Andromeda Galaxy is our closest galactic neighbor at 2.5 million light years away. And what that means is the light that is coming to our eyes on Earth from the Andromeda Galaxy left the galaxy when the Earth was still in an ice age 2.5 million years ago. And that is our closest galactic neighbor. That in itself is mind-blowing. Now, is Andromeda as far as space goes? It is not. So let's talk about what's beyond that. So we're going to start talking about Hubble. Okay, so Hubble was a telescope that was sent out into the Earth's orbit about a few decades ago. and it has gathered all kinds of very useful information for us. So we're going to look at an image that Hubble gathered back in 2003. So it looked at a part of space that is about 1/10 of the area of the full moon in the night sky. Now, I could not verify that this is exactly where it's positioned, but I wanted to show you this because I wanted you to see what 1/10 of the size of the full moon looks like. So does there look like there's anything happening in this green box? It just kind of looks like nothingness, right? I don't even see any stars within that green box. But Hubble pointed its camera, its telescope, there for about 4 months. And what a telescope does is it gathers as much light as it can. So for 4 straight months, it stares at this almost seemingly nothing spot in space, and it gathers all the light and all the data that it can for 4 months. And within this one little spot in our night sky, here's what it saw. Okay, this is called the Hubble Ultra Deep Field. And these are not stars in this picture. These are entire galaxies. Okay, so there are approximately 10,000 galaxies within this photo alone. And remember, this picture came from this teeny tiny part in the night sky. So if these are 10,000 galaxies in the night sky, what exactly does that mean? What does a galaxy entail? Well, each galaxy can have billions and billions, maybe even trillions of stars. An average galaxy has about 100 billion stars, though of course there are galaxies that have more than 100 billion, galaxies that have less than 100 million. But on average, each of these galaxies, each of these 10,000 galaxies has 100 billion stars in them, all from what looked like nothing. So our little bitty Earth, within the grand scheme of our solar system is almost nothing compared to our Milky Way galaxy. And our Milky Way galaxy is one of, there is no telling how many galaxies that are out there. Okay. So we've moved past Hubble. Hubble's still gathering really great data for us, but we've actually launched a new telescope called the James Webb Telescope that has a different kind of camera that can gather infrared data. So we're getting even more detailed images and detailed data about the things that are out there way past our wildest imaginations of what we ever dreamed could be possible out there. So I hope that telling you all of this, our spot within our solar system spot within our galaxy spot within these innumerable, just absolutely massive amounts of galaxies that are out there. I hope that that kind of blows your mind talking about our seemingly insignificant place in this massive, massive place called our universe. So I hope you've enjoyed this lesson, even without all the bells and whistles, and I hope you learned some interesting stuff and had your mind blown a little bit